Let's call the meeting to order at 7:02. Boy, it's June 20th already. Okay. How about the adoption of the minutes from June 6th?
So moved. Second.
If there's no further discussion about that, maybe we take a vote.
Mr. Spraglin?
Yes.
Mr. Mutcher?
Yes.
Mr. Crockett?
Yes. And motion to approve payment of bills to the tune of $25,452.17, with $2,551 from the general and $12,219 from fire. Cemetery $1,702, and EMS billing $6,542. Road and Bridge $4,036.
I move they approved.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? If none, may we take a vote?
Mr. Crockett?
Yes.
Mr. Spraglin?
Yes.
Mr. Mutcher?
Yes.
All right, and since we have a visitor tonight, we'll change our agenda just a little bit. And Sam, you wanna?
You're looking at me. I'm here for the third time on the same issue relative to different properties. Glen Helen Association has been talking to the village about acquiring 75 acres on the north side of Route 343. And that is part of what's called the Sutton Farm. For the record, the Sutton Farm is at 1130, I guess it's called Clifton Road. And the property in question constitutes most of the watershed of Birch Creek. Watershed protection is one of the primary objectives of Glen Helen and the GHA. And we assume it is also an objective of this group. Since we're not asking for money, we're asking for a resolution of support for a grant application, which will yield the money to do it. I submitted that resolution to Margaret via email, and I assume you've all seen it. I took it from my computer, and I think you probably have to make changes in it for your format or something, but the basic document should be about right. And so I'm here to ask for your resolution of support, and we would take that presumably in written form and attach it to the grant application. The application deadline is short again this time, and so I would ask for as much expedience as possible.
Within how long? Hours, days, weeks?
Oh, the grant application, I believe, is July 1, so we're talking about a couple of weeks.
Okay.
The sooner we can get the resolution, the sooner I can feed it into the process and have my part done.
So that it's within this cycle for us of this meeting. It's
so.
now or never.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes. Yeah, and I do apologize for the short notice. We're getting that to all of the government agencies just because of the circumstances.
Does that include all the Sutton Farm north of 343? It says 75 acres, I don't know how many
Yeah,
acres
the
is in the
Sutton
whole
Farm has 3 parcels. And I have the total acreage, but I don't have it with me.
So it was 75.
I'm sorry?
It said 75.
No, the resolution is for 75, and that's the watershed, and that constitutes 2 of the 3 parcels, the 2 located farthest east. There's a third parcel, which is another, I would guess, 30 or 35 acres, where the house is located in the village barn, garage, whatever, and that is not included in this.
And it's actually the part that goes behind our cemeteries. There's like a 28 acre or something.
It's between 343 and the cemetery burial. And then there's a woods there, and there's a house there, close to the woods.
Yeah, I don't
And there's
know.
another field on the other side of the woods going to the east. I assume that's
Yeah.
those
there's two parcels farther east than the house and the barn. And there's plenty of woods on it, but I don't think there's a structure on it. I could be wrong about that.
There's a structure, there's a house right across from
Cases.
Cases.
I think that's right. There's a small piece of property, if you look at a map, there's a little jog, and that may be the house we're talking
I
about.
think that's private property though, right?
Yes.
It used to be owned by the village.
Um,
Maybe they sold
I
it.
don't think that's included in this
And that doesn't matter.
grant.
Do we have that document?
Oh, it's in on the desk. Sam, I can surely imagine that you can relate that we might be a little gun shy. Could you give us any semblance of assurance that you're not going to be back, or you or Nick are not going to be back and try and annex that property within the next 6 months?
No, I can't.
Great, thanks. We're losing ground here, man.
I understand the annexation question. I don't think it even applies to this property, but what's in the future, I don't think anybody knows.
So,
Which do you want?
The map?
Huh?
yeah, I was gonna say it's,
I'll go back page.
it's
There.
7:32.
That's the draft. I think there's a map.
Yeah, there's a map in there.
And that little piece of property may be shown there.
It is, it's on there.
I just remember that house because I used to farm that farm.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who lived in that house was gonna shoot me.
What did you do to them?
I don't see the map.
I saw him a minute ago.
Now, the question
Tight.
is, why was he gonna shoot?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I
Mark probably smarted up
parked in
on
the entrance to that woods and went in there to check my cows. He didn't like it parking on his land that he was renting from the village. Missed it at the very beginning.
There it is. It's, here's the.
It takes care of the whole thing. This goes clear over the stream.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a cropland there in the woods.
Right?
And
So obviously, this
Here's
would have taken
75.8
some time.
acres. I
Do you
think
have a
it's
number for that, Margaret?
that part outlined.
Sorry?
Did you give a
Yes.
number?
It'd be 13. We did 11 and 12 last
Cemetery.
meeting, so.
I'm
Mhm.
not sure.
And this, I think, is
My memory serves me.
village, the house and the barn, the village.
So actually, we're looking at track 3.
Yes, here.
This is track 2.
So that's the property in question. Okay, clear enough?
And so, you need from us,
I need from you a resolution of support. The content would be in the resolution I sent, but I'm not sure that it meets your format. I think last time you changed some of the preamble or whatever. And whatever you have to change, you can. That was a Word document, so. But generally, the content of what I submitted, and I'd like to get it back as quickly as possible.
sounds good.
Well, I'd move for the passage of resolution 2016-13.
A second.
And if there's no further discussion about it,
Vote.
may we take a vote?
Mr. Sprackman?
Yes.
Ms. Meacher?
Yes?
Mr. Puckett?
Yes.
And I would say thank you.
You're very welcome.
And I would
Thank you for
ask-
your help with the
Yes,
project. We'll pretty this up and get it to you.
okay. Margaret, if you would just call me, I'll come and pick it up anytime.
Okay.
I am gonna be pretty well tied up most of the rest of the week, starting Wednesday. But I can do it either tomorrow or Monday or, anytime next week.
Well, or I could drop it at your house.
You can do that. Sandy and I are both attending the Unitarian Universalist General Assembly in Columbus for the next 5 days.
Oh.
So but we'll be home every evening.
Okay.
Thank you all very much. We
Thank
appreciate your help.
You had it
I
over.
hope I have to come and ask again sometime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should tell you that I will be leaving the GHA board at the end of this month,
Oh,
but I may very well be continuing this particular thing because I have it on my computer.
yeah, yeah.
So are you gonna stay in Columbus?
No, we're coming
Come
home.
back,
We're gonna-
okay.
So you can drop it in the mailbox, or just call and leave a message and I'll come get it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Sam.
You might wanna-
Watch that
Up with the
cord.
cord.
I will,
Or
I
you
will,
go
I'll
up-
step
go up
over.
that way. It's up to you,
I think I
however you want it.
Mhm.
can. Thanks again.
All right,
Nice
take care.
job. Yeah. Okay.
Is there a blank signature page on the back so you don't have to chase us down or?
Yeah, there isn't nothing for you guys to sign.
See, that's official.
Yeah, it looks, I've seen these kind before, the yays and nays, but, it doesn't, I don't even have to sign it. Just fill in the blanks. So we can just reprint it without the draft thing on
Okay, well, you got it on the email, so
I
if
do.
you want to just import it to your
there. On that,
Word, you can change
It
it.
says
whatever you like.
trustees, was it?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I can do it.
It's from Sam, I mean, that's so you'll be able to notice, I don't know what the title was, but
Okay.
he sent it.
All right. And Colin asked me to tell you guys that he was gonna be 5 to 10 minutes late,
Okay.
so he's late.
Mm-hmm.
Or
May not be late.
later.
Okay, well, let's move on to correspondence. We, the trustees, received Ohio Township Association newsletter, notice from the Ohio Public Utilities Commission. Email from Attorney Hayden regarding update to public records law. Email from Montgomery County Drug Free Coalition. Which email was that?
It was about heroin, opium in Hong Kong.
Opium, yeah, okay, I did read that one.
That was the handout basically from the lady at the Township Association meeting that we enjoyed so much that night.
Okay. Okay, email from MVRPC regarding meeting cancellations. Email from G Sample regarding WSU clinic site.
Discuss that in
Yeah.
executive session.
Email from Xylem regarding YSI RFI report. Email from Greene County Association legislative alerts. Agritourism presentation. And Chris, did you go to that?
Mhm.
Okay. Open that later. Meeting announcement from Regional Planning and Coordinating Commission. Memo from Glenn Allen, Executive Director, regarding the Sutton Farm acquisition and resolution. Requests from Oddfellows for donation in regards to the fireworks. Letter from YSI News regarding the guide to Yellow Springs. Miami Township documents request. And our fund status revenue appropriations status reports for June 20th. And since Chief Altman was here, but before we move on to that, any additional correspondence?
No. I believe those are current.
Okay. We've got a couple of things to discuss, but we can do that later. Any further discussion regarding correspondence? No?
Not I, sir.
Then let's move on to the ever exciting fire department report.
Hold your breath on this one. This one's gonna humdinger. Since the last meeting, there's been 46 EMS calls,
Oh my gosh.
18 fire calls, and we conducted 52 fire inspections. Street fair went off, okay. The association raised $1,400, so that was good.
12 of those, didn't you say 12 of those calls approximately were?
Yeah, I believe 12 were street fairs, so
Do you inspect all those tents at street fair?
just the food vendors. Yeah, the rest of them. Well, we don't have to inspect the rest, it's the food vendors we have to inspect. So we make sure that they're in compliance with the parts of the code that they have to be in compliance with. I mean, as long as if they're cooking or use power, the ones that are like selling their, their big chips and stuff, because they don't have any real fire hazards. But we check everyone's got power, everyone's cooking.
I'm not a food vendor.
Good with the code.
You inspect my tent, I'm not a food vendor.
Oh, no, we have to inspect tents too. Yeah, we don't do the small canopies. We're only, tents, they're any tent over 400 square feet. Has to be inspected. And that was
That's why I asked.
Yeah,
If
the
you
little
did all
ones we
those
don't.
Tents, sir, that's why you had so many fire inspectors.
Yes, oh god, yeah. Yeah, we weren't that. It's a lot of inspections. I mean, those food vendor inspections take us 2 or 3 minutes each. Make sure there's no fire extinguisher, that they're not cooking underneath their canopy. The grease that goes in the tent, catch on fire, that kind of stuff. And it's getting easier and easier because more and more of the food vendors have professional trailers or food trucks, so it's they're built for that, which is nice.
Not too many Weber girls left.
Do they,
Not a lot.
do they have a license in the health department?
Yeah, yeah, we usually go in right after the health department does.
So they have to have,
Yeah. Yeah, there's usually 2 or 3 health inspectors out. They got their little thingies and they got like a little printer on their belt and they can print off their little tickets right down there and give them their permits, I assume.
So is there a list of requirements? I mean, like if you were going to do food vending or,
Yeah, any kind of temporary food operation. I mean, there's a ton of health stuff they have to do. I mean, if they're preparing the food there, they have to meet the same health codes as you would in a restaurant pretty much, but fire-wise, it's just general stuff to make sure they're not cooking underneath the tent itself. That their power cords are okay, they're not gonna catch on fire. They have a fire extinguisher, they have if they're using propane, it's secure, the tanks are secure, so it won't fall over, blow up, everybody. So, pretty easy stuff for us. Excuse me. The new ambulance is finally in for lettering. Had its radios installed last week. There was a delay in getting the appointment with the lettering guys when Denny had asked our ambulance dealer, to give them 2 to 3 weeks notice before the ambulance was going to be delivered so that we could make these appointments. And then they called me and said, hey, come get it tomorrow. So this was the first open day that our lettering guy had available, because apparently Montgomery County just bought 35 new sheriff cruisers or something. And their dealer told them ahead of time, so they were able to get their appointments. So, but it's there, it should be back tomorrow. And I'll let it. And set that one last thing mounted, it should be good to go. So that'll be nice.
and when's the air show?
I'm sorry?
The air show?
It was this past weekend.
Okay.
We had crews out there both days with the bike team. It was kind of boring actually with Blue Angels. And the crowd was down too.
I imagine the attendance was.
Yeah, I mean, it still seemed a good sized crowd,
Yeah.
but not what it would be. You know, so
And why is that?
the Blue Angels, the Navy's Blue Angel team was supposed to be there, but they had a crash, what, 2 weeks ago? They killed one of their guys, so they weren't obviously going to fly for the weekend, so. They tossed a few more military acts in there, but it's cool. And it affects their ticket sales, certainly. And it was hot, I mean, it was hot both days, but it wasn't humid, it was Bad for us, because we don't want to. Fire class is up and running, except for the next 2 weeks, we're on break. So they've got 2 students in the class, so they're on their semester break, so I figured I'd make it easy for them. Tess went to Italy for break, so I figured she wouldn't go there for too much. And then Independence Day's coming up, we'll be out, as always, with the fireworks, doing our thing, and the parade, I assume there's still a parade.
It was in the paper.
Okay, cool.
There's gonna be a parade.
We love a parade.
Do we have a truck? Is the question of the line.
Oh, of course we have a
We
truck.
got a truck. We still got a truck, don't we, Dan?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
What about
I
you?
even like riding in the back of it, it's so hot.
It is really hot.
It's a hot thing to look for. It's nice and shiny.
I'm in a fancy car.
Maybe you can
We
borrow.
need to rotate. Rotate, 2 rides in the back, 2 rides in the front. I was there by my lonesome last year.
There you were.
I'll ride in the back.
But as you recall, you won that election big time. That had to be the.
It wasn't hardly worth it.
Well, we'll just keep your paycheck.
Story, yeah.
Maybe you guys can borrow the Pope Mobile.
What?
The Pope Mobile. You know, as long as it, but you
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah, sure. Who's got connections, Chris?
No.
Well,
I
the
love
fun
it.
thing is that when, when one of the trustees is shot and stabbed to death,
What?
international news.
Oh, that's
Well, I
real,
just-
didn't
I was thinking about the Pope Mobile,
Oh, okay.
but I was also thinking about the situation in England.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Nasty.
So is the new reporting software up and running yet?
Yes,
How's it going?
I think it's fun to watch. I tend to use it more than a lot of people, but I haven't heard a lot of complaints. Most of the complaints that I've heard so far are the things that you have to get used to the software, you gotta learn how the flow goes. People had 3 training sessions prior to us implementing it, so they should all be useful. Most people like it, and the guys are, Alex was telling me the other day, he can get his report done by the time they're getting back from the hospital, whereas in the past, then you'd have to go downstairs, that report.
Yeah.
And it, my first couple reports took me a little bit to figure out where everything was, or remember where everything was. Once you've done it, it's pretty easy. Plus, because it's basically it's an Android tablet, and that has its issues, but you can even dictate your narrative part of the report, which is voice to text.
Really?
Now, you gotta definitely proofread it, because like any voice to text on your phone, it's got its own mind at times, but, and as far as I know, Denny hasn't said anything about the uploading not working for the hospitals when they're getting all the reports, and so it's definitely cut the guys' time down big time, which is nice. There's some things people have to get used to, you don't have a piece of paper anymore to write stuff down as they're talking to you, so you either have to remember it or know where the note part is on the tablet. Or some of the guys is that just carry a small little, binder thing, these little notepads.
Yeah.
Take your notes and transfer them. But it's what, the only thing we're having an issue with right now, and Danny's trying to resolve this, is the LifePak defibrillator monitors should be able to sync via Bluetooth with the software. So all the vital signs that come out of there and the cardiac strips and everything would be synced right into that. But that's not working at the moment, so we have to figure it out. He's been working with safety guy and physical control to figure out, because they do it other places, so we're not sure what the problem is. So he's been working on that one, but yeah, other than that, I think everyone's happy because it's cutting their time down.
Yeah, I think so.
And, there's little things we discovered. They able to take a picture of something the other day, a car accident or something. They got the picture, but then the flash stayed on until he was done with the report. So every time you pick up the tablet, and someone scanned a driver's license in Ohio that's within a year, been issued within a year, we can scan the barcode on it, and it puts all the information into the, populates all the fields, so that's a nice thing too. Unfortunately, we haven't found that many people who've got their driver's license issued or reissued within the last year, so.
Right.
But eventually, it'll work.
Yeah.
It'll work well, so. Yeah, definitely is, it was a good change, I think. I mean, the downside, I'm still learning this, is getting my reports out of the software, how many runs we had, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I see that.
So and it's on now, because I've got to look at two different databases, Firehouse for the fire and inspections, and then the safety pad, so, I mean, it's not a big hassle.
But it'll eventually be just one.
No, we moved away from Firehouse. Their EMS, their mobile EMS recording software was not too unlike it, put it that way. Didn't really have a good flow to it. It seemed very clunky, it would take a long time to get done. And then our billing company was the one that recommended this current software, Safety Connect, to us because it syncs easily without problem with their billing software. So
It's a Medi-Count service, or?
they support it. I mean, it's an independent company, but
Oh, I see.
Medi-Count
Okay.
found it somehow. I mean, I guess one of their clients, Cincinnati used it. And they found it through that, and it's able to link in with with their software, and they can import stuff easily, and it cuts their time down too, which is nice. So far so good.
Good.
Yeah, that was a very good move, and definitely worth the purchase price and everything.
Now, do we want to do the executive session regarding the Wright State site?
Yeah, quick question. President Cooper organizing any association meetings, projects, bumper purchase?
I'm not certain at this point.
Okay.
We've got to get our quotes together. They're looking at a couple different things, helping us with purchases. The thumper, we got to get our final quotes from, or the Lucas device, I should use, from Physio. We've discussed very preliminarily.
So this is not a hammer we're talking about?
It's a hammer of life. No, it's basically a piston that does CPR for you, training up the people to do stuff. It actually does better CPR with.
What's it called?
It's called a Lucas device.
Lucas.
Fits anybody, big and small.
As far as I know, yeah. It's just lay them on a board, put this thing over them, it comes down and sizes the chest, and then you hit go. So,
Is there a lot more to this decision or priority or what? I mean, we have talked, I don't know how long you've talked about it, we've talked about it here for like 6 months. And
yeah, we were just waiting to get some final stuff from Physio about whether or not if they were changing their depth, compression depth. The CPR compression depth just changed with the new CPR guidelines that came out, went from 2 inches to 2.5. And initially, Physio said they weren't going to change, which doesn't make any sense because you should. They announced they did, so it's just kind of been on the back burner, but I got to push it back forward and get with Bob and get the quote from Linda. It should be about $13,000. We got that. Putting the finishing touches on the BWC grant request for the second tower cot. And then we're looking at, we've talked about this for years, but the association wasn't helping us fund it, as an ATV four-wheeler for the wilderness areas, obviously. The village has some interest in one. We've talked to some officers about a cost share thing, because once they take over the land, they're gonna have to actually patrol it, so.
Yeah.
And they can't even drive the cruisers through there.
And, I mean, at present anyway, we've got no place to store it and
Yeah, we would have
very
to,
little to pull it with.
we'd have to look at all, all those issues, obviously, and we share, if the village wants to do it, who would have it?
Right.
And I mean, for us, we could put it in Clifton, but the problem is, for them, that would be a hassle.
Right.
Obviously. So.
Yeah, to have a truck or a trailer to transport.
Yeah, we have to get a trailer with it.
To get a trailer, then you gotta have a truck big enough to pull it. Why are we renting turnout gear for $2,300?
Because we don't have any gear that is compliant, that fits the 6 kids in class, and the only other option is to buy the new gear at $2,700 shop, but I didn't really want to buy gear until I'm going to pass the fire class. That's what we did in the last fire class as well.
Yeah, we've done it a few times, anyway, as I recall.
The current fire class, unfortunately, is not, the last 2 we did were grant funded, so we didn't pay anything for their classes through the WC and the state fire marshal's grant. Unfortunately, this class started, unbeknownst to me, but started towards the end of the fiscal year, I mean, right at the end of the state fiscal, and they cut off those funds 2 months ahead of time. But, so we'll get a bill from Clark State when the class is over. But then all we have to do, I don't want to say all of it, then we just have to apply for the fire marshal grant that will reimburse us in January, February, which we've done before, so. They'll pay, I think it's $1,000 a student for the class.
But for another 400, you could have it to use year after year?
The gear ensembles for the students, either
Per student.
is $400, is what we're renting it for 4 months.
So you have 6 students.
There's a bill in there for $2,300.
Right, because there's 6 students.
And you can buy new for 27?
For one person.
Per student.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I figure, I want to make sure these guys actually pass the class before. Because we've done that before, where we went out and shelled out a ton of money for outfits on one, and they,
Yeah,
pass
because
the class. so
it's
they
gotta
take
be
off.
fitted, yeah.
I mean, I think we're looking good so far with the class, but I still would, one, they can get through the class, and then,
One of the problems that we have with our, I mean, back me up on this, or correct me if I'm wrong, is if we had a lot of compliant uniforms or gear lying around from past students who went away, you know, took the class, decided not to do it, and the gear's out there, then these new people who come in, if they were relatively close to fitting them, they could use them. Problem is virtually everything we've got is out of date.
yeah, when the NFPA put in the 10-year standard life, and the bigger problem for us is, you can climb a ladder in 10-year-old gear, it's not a big deal, but they can't go into the burn building at Clark State with anything that's not compliant, because that makes sense, liability, they have to check.
Sure.
So then, you know, they have to do burns, the next fire class.
So then if they pass the class, do you then shell out another $2,700 a piece?
We're gonna have to look into that, and maybe, you know, maybe someone is left at that point, you know, and you can shuttle gear around. The problem we have is that right now, the only set of gear we have that's compliant, that's not in use, is gigantic. It's a 54 chest, and the waist is like a 50 or something like that, which none of these guys fit. That's and Julie, they're similar, and they could fit into one in each leg, maybe.
Two of them could use it.
I think Jack Jacobson weighs 140 pounds, you know. Aaron King, that you guys pointed last time, I think he's 142 with his shoes on, so.
People get enough to eat anymore?
Apparently not. I keep telling you that, you gotta eat more. So, yeah, that would be a big bill, but the nice thing is it's offset, that we'll get reimbursed early next year by the state fire marshal for the fire class, so. Which is what we used to do all the time, and then, they started the grant funded thing, but as I said, unfortunately, this class started at the wrong time, so.
It's an unfortunate reality, but there's cost involved in staying compliant.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing about staying compliant is that that is for the safety of the volunteers.
Oh, yeah, we have to keep it safe so they keep coming back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so may I make a motion to move to executive session for purposes of discussing real estate?
Yes,
I'll second.
I vote yes.
okay. Do you really need permission? I mean, it's supposed to ask.
We're back.
Okay. We have returned from executive session. What do we need to do to go back to regular function?
You did it.
That's it.
So
We're
we're
here.
back, we're back.
We're back. Any additional questions for the chief?
Not I.
Nope.
If not, may we go on to cemetery and road report?
Okay. Well, let's see. We've had one burial since our last meeting, included a full burial last Wednesday. Got one pending for Glen Forest, but I'm not sure when. I know what's available. She said no rush. Assuming it might be ashes. Hoping.
Yeah, she owns an ice
Oh,
factory.
yes. We find out. And I guess there's a little issue. I'll have to, if I can resolve that tomorrow.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
You have something for me?
Go.
No,
What were
no.
we gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, what's happening in Clifton.
We just had, mowing. Next week will be weed eating and mowing. Get ready for the holiday. I sold a natural burial space.
Did you?
Gentleman out of Springfield. We were looking at the map and I said, we're right here and this is grade 1. And he said, I'll take it.
Interesting.
Quick and simple.
Isn't that fun?
Right?
Is the presentation, is that coming up?
That wasn't the one, Margaret, that wasn't the one that you had filed, right? This
Nope.
was something else?
No, I sold, that's by,
Bobby, David Bader's family.
yeah, it's in
Yeah.
that area that from, is that her name? It's for her mother or something.
I don't know, but it wasn't a natural burial
Bahati,
space.
no, it's over by.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, yes, that last week or so.
Mhm.
Other than that, I think that's all I've got for cemetery. There were some guys spraying yesterday, or Saturday in natural burial. What's he spraying for?
The walkway.
Always for Roundup. I just seen the truck trailer and you're back in there. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. Sometime, please, when Junie's in between mowing or whatever, there's some areas that in the new section, like around the above ground ball, you know, those need to be cleaned up. Of course, we're getting so late in the year now, I don't know if that's even worth doing it before the fall. To plant
The seed?
Yeah.
I thought that was seed. I thought he seeded it. Won't get run. It's just not really big deal.
And the one, I'd have to go put flags on them or something, but I'll do that. But there's a couple of them that either,
In the new addition,
Yeah.
there's one on the curve.
Yeah, on the
where
curve.
I've got to put a base in for that.
right, that's,
Yeah,
that.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Planting grass seed.
Hmm?
Planting
will
grass
be.
seed.
Mhm.
We will be. Yeah. Not a good time.
First of August is a good time for grass seed. Put it in now and then you got a lot of hot weather.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, maybe just,
First week of August is good for grass.
Well,
You kind of pass
let's wait then.
okay.
Kind of pass the heat period. You know, July,
Right.
it'll be pretty hot,
Right.
dry, and then sprout.
All right.
Sun sprouts and dies, but August, you get August rains. Normally, not this year.
Okay, I'll take care of
Okay.
Any additional information for the cemetery?
Mower's working,
that.
truck's working.
Truck's working. Except 165 won't dump and the strobe won't come on, but I haven't had time to.
It won't dump.
Strobe won't even come on, it's in that connection out there. They fixed that one time, remember we had some problem with that.
Mhm.
I can sometimes wiggle it, no, I just haven't had time to get into it. But I will. Soon, we got the other one that'll dump, so.
Yeah. Anything about the backhoe?
Yes. I got some
Oh.
info on the back of it. It should be ready this week. He said last week on Wednesday, I talked to him, he said, we should have it for Tuesday, we should have it ready. Parts should be here today, ready by Friday.
They need a pump, is that a
Pump
pump?
went out, charge pump went out, which in turn threw the converter out, so they're gonna replace them both. Material cost of parts is $2,084 for the pump and converter. Labor's more, labor's $2,800.
Yeah.
And I called him this morning and got a voicemail, he never called me back, so I called him again this afternoon, got the voicemail, left another message, so I'll try and get him on. See, because he said it should be ready, we can probably pick it up this week when it's ready. Sooner as I can get it back, the better.
Yeah.
So we're looking at, it's probably around 5,000. And that was kind of the number I was bottoming, I was looking at, like 5 to 6, somewhere in there, I kind of figured. We're in the ballpark. It broke the, there's two rods that stick out, work on the charge pump, they sheared them off. He said it's a common problem with them. When I called and talked to him, I found that was one of the scenarios he gave me when we talked about it, he said it's a common problem. But he does say
What year is it?
98, but he has said to me 3 times, that hood's really nice, it's in really nice shape. You know, so we try to take care of them, it's just something that happens. Waiting from abuse. Apparently it's a common problem. They should have us fixed up this week. If so, we'll go get it.
Very good.
And I'm gonna try to wedge some wedging this week, I didn't get to last week because of aerial came in. So we'll try this week.
Gosh,
Wednesday, I believe.
let's say the corner of East Enon and Yellow Springs Fairfield.
That's county.
Does that
Does it
count?
need something?
Gravel's collecting on that corner, and motorcyclists expressed some.
This is fell from the shop, and is that the intersection just from down the road from the shop?
Yeah.
Really look at it, if I can move the gravel off the road, you want to call it county.
Yeah, if you have a chance, but,
They burned up there not too long ago, that's probably what it's down the road.
yeah.
I'll look at it, see what
Yeah,
it is,
if
I'll call
you take a
WT.
look and, if it's easily corrected.
Yeah, if I can do it,
We'll call.
They burned about 75 feet of Fairfield pipe, which I don't understand.
up by the
Yeah.
cemetery,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a drop off, see, that van run off there last winter and went over and took out the fence there, that's how part of that fence got broke down.
Oh.
He got off, run off, because it was a drop off.
Yeah.
They burned it, I saw it. Other than that, I think that's about it. If everything caught up, I'd like to take it stride. I know. I got enough time, I think, to use for the weekend. Unless something comes.
Next Friday's the Friday before the 4th.
Exactly. It's gonna be a big week. If I get everything done.
Yeah, well, if you get it all done, fine.
If not, I'll be here. It'll be a long weekend anyway. Thought I'd push it if we could. I think that's all I have.
I got no other questions. Any additional questions for our road guy?
No, sir.
No.
No? Okay. Then let's move on to the fiscal officer's report.
First thing on the report is I don't have the tax budget for you, because you didn't expect it anyway.
Did two.
I didn't.
Sorry about that. But you'll have it, hopefully I'll have it by next Monday when it's payroll. Hopefully have one then to pick up.
May I propose one change to the tax budget before we
Sure.
finalize it?
Before we get started.
Well,
Yeah, what kind of change do you want to make?
2031, 33360, contracted services. We got 90,000 in there.
2031,
What's the number?
330,
360.
contracted, yeah, 90,000,
I
right.
think we ought to move that into 760, 740, because we're not gonna pay, and just because of necessity, we're not gonna pay paving out of that.
So you want to move it to machinery equipment to be a capital expense? Sure.
Okay.
That's easy enough.
I mean, we'll still keep up the, transferring money from, as long as we have it, from 1,000 contracted. This is like next year. I mean, I'm getting way ahead of myself, but,
Well, we're talking about it, so,
yeah. But I think it's responsible that we have some money in an account to purchase equipment at some time in the future. We're going to need things.
So do you want me to do all 90,000?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all right, you guys.
So I'm gonna have to add some extra repairs and maintenance once we get the bill for the backhoe. There's only 3,000 left in there. I can do that. That has nothing to do with 2017 though. Let's see. Oh, Clifton Cemetery Board paid the township $28,000 for cemetery maintenance.
I'm sorry, Clifton Cemetery Board.
Yes, wrote a check.
Not Green Township.
Green Township paid the Clifton Cemetery Board, $5,000, I think it was, somewhere around there, and, which was the originally agreed split. And, but the Clifton Cemetery Board then, took that, put it towards the 28,000 and wrote a check to Miami Township for the full amount, the additional hours and so forth. So that should be, that's what this, if you look at your revenue status report, in the general fund, the last line, other financing sources, there's $14,381.09. And that is half of the 28, because the other half went back into the cemetery expenses for salary. So anyhow, just want to let you know that money's there now.
What roughly the balance is in that account?
In what account?
Cemetery Board?
The cemetery board roughly has right now, yeah, it has 18,000, I think.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, roughly. It's 18,000. And that's my big news. So I can't top $28,000.
That's good big news.
Yeah.
For the taxpayers of Miami Township.
Yep, so there you go. So maybe that $28,000 that the general fund has received can, maybe transfer some money to the cemetery expenses. Glen Forest. Or wherever we need it.
It's true.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works, and that's what's happening. And they still have not heard any word from the auditors. Now that I've said that out loud, it's probably gonna bring some news to us here this week or something. It'll happen. Anyway, I haven't had any requests for any information or anything, so I think they're just, I don't know, getting ready to send the final bill.
And hopefully a final report,
Well, they better.
or the draft.
They're not paying unless
Draft
there's a
is
report.
fine.
I don't think I have any other news. Do I?
I don't know, dude.
I'll do it.
Got me.
That's a good question. I mean, if you don't know.
I don't know, yeah, but I'm open to questions, or if anybody needs any help with anything. Now's the time.
My grass needs cut.
Yeah, well.
You don't have a mower.
I don't have a mower. I could use your mower, of course.
Yeah, I have some insurance questions.
Oh,
But,
I don't know those answers.
No, I figured that.
I mean, I know you're covered, I just paid Anthem, Blue Cross for you and Lamar, so
Yeah, I just,
you guys are good.
yeah. Okay. Any other additional questions for the fiscal officer? If not,
Does everybody want to be in the parade? Maybe,
oh, good question. Yeah.
you always say that.
We'll all be there.
All right, Lamar, are you coming?
Plan to.
All right. Okay, that's all I had.
Okay. So, you'll let us know where to meet you.
Well, we'll just, we just meet out at the Friends Care Light, and then,
Yeah, election's only 18 months from now.
And then
Two parades between them.
we'll see what kind of vehicle we have at that time.
Okay. Okay, so no zoning inspectors report. So let's move on to standing committee reports.
Well, let's see, on my end, I went to the MVRPC Executive Committee and the Board of Directors meeting. The Executive Committee meeting, well, they were both relatively short. Board of Directors meeting was virtually in and out. They just rubber stamped a bunch of changes for transportation. Executive Committee gave a performance review to the Executive Director, and out of a possible rating of 5.0, he received a 4.85. And the only reason they left 0.15 is they figured they needed something for next year. So they think he's doing a pretty good job. Very interesting. Regional planning meeting is actually tomorrow, the executive director meeting tomorrow. And I'm going to bring it up just in as much as this whole agritourism fiasco, which is what it is, which you guys went to that one at the winery and heard all that explanation. It's exactly the same, nothing changed. I went to the seminar last week in Sugar Creek Township, and all they did was just basically complain about how we have no control over anything, but there was no new information. This is going to go in effect, this law is going to go in effect August 1, and 4 townships have applied to, have already run through their zoning commissions and have proposed new zoning for this agritourism of the very little things that they can actually control. Parking, setback for the agritourism building, just a requirement that the applicant meet the CAUV and the quote stated use for agritourism, which is all so nebulous, it's ridiculous. It's just going to spend the rest of its life in the courts of the state of Ohio, but that's not my concern, nor ours.
What do you mean, meet CAUV?
The applicant to rezone their property, agritourism, has to, there's only really 2 requirements. One, that it's being used for some educational, cultural, something benefit for the public to appreciate or learn about something having to do with agriculture. And you know how nebulous that could be. The other is they have to have a 10-acre parcel and qualify for CAUV, the $2,500 per year for the past 3 year sales off the land. Okay. Well,
How do I write that down, Laura?
that was that.
Yeah, how do I write that down?
That's deceiving. That means they have to have a total of 10 acres in the entire county.
That's right.
And it does not have to be contiguous.
No, it does not.
So they could have an acre in each township and still qualify.
Yes, they could.
So, when you say you gotta have 10 acres, most people
It's-
interpret that as being one 10-acre field,
Yep.
but that's not true.
No, it's not. But that's the law. As of August 1st or 4th, that will be the law of the land.
Mhm.
And that's how it's gonna go until some court.
So really, a guy could own 9 acres in Bath Township and 1 acre in Miami Township
Sure.
and have a building there and do your thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, theoretically, my half acre, if I set out to meet the requirements, theoretically, I could acquire that 9.5 acres anywhere.
I don't think there's any minimum limit on it.
And as long as you go to an auction and buy a cow or 2 and, spend $2,500 and turn around and sell it that same afternoon for $2,500, well, you don't have to you don't have to pay $2,500, but as long as you sell it for $2,500, then you do that 3 years in a row and you can start your Young's Jersey Dairy in that half acre.
Then I'm all for it.
Yeah. All right, I got a cow, is that? Okay, you listening to, get together, this is big time. And that's all I have to talk about that, there's something about the mill, I don't know what it is. I'll report back.
Okay. As far as the economic sustainability, most of the meeting was spent discussing the fiber optics concept. And, you know, I don't know about the viability for the township as far as numbers and costs and like.
Township wouldn't get any fiber optics.
Mm.
Fiber optics wouldn't come to the township, right?
Fiber optics.
Possibly.
I think that was just for, this is just for the village. The village is considering
Yeah,
investing in that.
there's that, but there's also the idea that potentially it would be something that the township would be interested in.
You know, if you're interested in pursuing that, we could always ask our Miami Township representative to the board, fiber board, whatever the thing is, to come and make a lengthy presentation on all aspects of fiber board.
We don't have time.
Did you say lengthy?
That's what I said, we don't have time for these, Lamar.
Sure we do.
So, that's a thought.
I mean,
You just let me know and I'll arrange it.
Don't cut into our parade time.
Now, who's our representative?
Assistant Chief Powell.
Oh, he loves meetings.
Well, the thing is that I would love, you know, not to suggest that we have lengthy meetings or anything, but I would love to know how this all ties in to fire department.
Just walk upstairs at 8:30 tomorrow morning and you will find out.
Okay. I will ask Denny myself. Okay.
The, oh, I'm sorry, you got the senior center to go yet, right?
Mhm.
Mark, is that your senior center?
No, I don't have anything going yet. I have not stopped in and done a follow-up.
Clifton Union Cemetery is in the process of setting up a meeting,
Excellent.
right, Mark?
That's right. No date has been set yet. Start at the top.
Okay.
Well, we'll wait for that report with David Brown.
Mm-hmm. Well, the economic sustainability, they do jam a lot of information into their hour and a half. And, but like I said, mostly the information has been, well, the focus has been really on the fiber optics. So, are there any additional questions about the committee reports?
Not I, sir.
Nope.
Okay. Any new business?
I believe we have one thing before the board, request from the local philanthropic organization, International Order of Odd Fellows,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
for a donation towards their fireworks display on July 4th.
And how much have we donated in the past?
It's been our normal donation to $500.
Okay. Do I have a motion to continue that level of donation?
I'll move.
A second?
If there's no further discussion, may we take a vote on?
Mr. Crockett?
Yes.
Mr. Spracklen?
Yes.
Mr. Mutcher?
Yes.
How much does anyone know how much they raise Cause the figure there was, it cost like $6,000.
That was true, I don't know. I wonder.
Okay.
Let's see if there's a member of the Odd Fellows around who can give us that report. Oh, Richard will be here next.
Like I said, I pay my dues, but I've not been to a meeting in a long time.
I guess the only old business that we could scratch up is the GAR cannon project, and I have no further information on what's going on with that.
Yeah.
I have a question, but what about, did you guys read the Public Utilities Commission Safety's regulation, registration
I
requirements,
saw
DLEO?
that about the
We are a
$25.
public utility, right?
Yeah,
So
I read it, but,
I was
well, no,
wondering,
it's if you do anything around a public utility, if you're near water, near gas, near phone lines, near internet, do you, I guess do you ever
Phone
call?
lines, sure, we mow around phone lines and ditches.
Yeah, but do you ever call oops, ups,
To
oops?
locate, absolutely.
You do.
Sure.
For what purpose?
Sign, usually signs, or if we're gonna put in a culvert or something, we have to
Okay, so
locate.
that's digging, right?
Right.
So because, yes,
I
the answer
think-
is yes, it's only
I
like
think-
$25 or something,
Yeah,
right?
I think it probably does.
Does it cover us, does it help protect us, or is it their
If-
fee to belong?
You have, yeah, you have to pay a fee to belong to Oops or something in order for them, in order to use their services, I guess.
It doesn't cost us anything to call Oops and have them locate.
No, but
This
there's a
is-
$25
This is probably
register-
their carrier rider or whatever you
Something,
want.
I mean, I've never seen it before.
I mean, maybe they're running a little short on,
Yeah, maybe they just, put it, so, and if you don't register and you wanna use them, then there's some, or whatever, there's a big threatening couple $1,000 fine or something if you don't do what they say.
Probably better to take
Yeah.
25.
I think, err on the side of $25, okay,
We
well,
do use Oops, I have to locate.
yeah,
Phone
okay.
lines, I'll put a sign up.
All right, well, if I understood, that's what I kinda understood to say, so,
Right.
all right.
They have been known to make a mistake too,
Yes, they have. They use them.
then you might be responsible still. I'm
But
not sure.
if they got it located, we did something, it's not on us, it's on them. If they didn't mark it, that's right. That's why we have it located. Safe to cover ourselves.
Colin, is this all your new nice, non-stressed, repelling equipment that you had to replace?
Yeah,
Did you get everything you needed?
there's a couple things on back order, what they're doing. One just shipped, and the other one's some harnesses, they won't ship till July. So Jeremy's gonna work on getting that stuff, inventory and service on Wednesday.
You couldn't have turned down doing a rescue, could you? Or would you had to? If you hadn't replaced it, or if it hadn't come in?
No, we still have the ability to do rescues. And there's a lot of redundant systems. So it was just one, I think we had maybe 6 or 8 ropes that are used for rescue, and the one got stretched too much for the impact load, so it had to go out of service.
Okay.
So we replaced that one, and since we're doing it anyway, I told Nate and Jeremy just to put it in. The harnesses that we use, they also have of course, a 10-year limit.
Of course.
Of course, so we want new ones, because we don't even know how many ones we have are.
Yeah.
Because they were made before the standards, they don't have a date on them, which would tell you that they're probably, I remember buying them, but I think they were early in my career. And they're in good,
How many
Not like
times
you
have
use
you
them
used
a
it?
lot, but-
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff that gets me with the rope rescue is, we were talking about this in the training the other day, the carabiners that we bought, that we have to buy to meet the NFPA standard. They've got an 11,000-pound rating on them. 11,000 pounds.
That's a
You
big
know,
person.
The rope's at 7,000 pound. I mean, and it's in the safety aspect, but
Right.
it does get a little crazy, but,
Yeah.
it's what you gotta do to do what we gotta do,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And God forbid, we can say, screw it, we're not gonna follow
Well-
the NFPA standard, but then, first guy who gets hurt, comes back and says, well, BWC says, oh, do you follow the NFPA? We say, no, well, we're not gonna pay your claim, and then he sues us, and there's,
But the reason they establish standards is because they know that people like us who are tight for a dollar are gonna be discussing it both ways and saying, well, could you get by with less,
And they're always in you know, they are created usually in response to someone's stupidity, so if there's a reason,
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately.
I got a question. Can we talk about roads real quick?
Sure.
Jacoby Road, you know, they're building a water plant.
Yep,
Okay, they're gonna tear that road up.
I took 100 pictures.
Okay. Everybody else is pulled out of having anything done until after the plant's built. Are we gonna stay or you wanna drop our end?
No, let's stay.
Because they'll have to fix it, then I guess they've got a rider on their contract to fix it, and there's grant money to available that they can, I don't know how bad they're gonna tear it, yeah, you know, they're running pretty heavy stuff in down there, concrete trucks, so much. Xenia was gonna do something, they held off, Bob had emphasized maybe you should hold off.
They're starting that pretty quick, as I recall.
Evidently, so, and I just wondered, because I talked to Jim Pyle, he said they're not doing anything until it's all said and done.
How
They've
easy,
got
how
more
easy
road.
to get out of it?
They just said they don't want it done. It'd be like us knocking it off our bid if we didn't want it chip sealed.
I thought we could always add, but, you know, play help getting rid of
That's
something.
what I thought too, but they said they just took it
Well,
off.
might as well take it off then.
You want to?
Yeah.
I mean, we
Think?
can do it and then go back and,
Do it again.
And chip seal someplace else. If you have,
well,
if you
yeah.
have to pay for it, use it on another road.
We could just hold off and save.
Yeah.
Want to just stop and wait and see what they're doing with the plan, because if they have to go in and work that road over and fix it, then we might not have to do anything.
Right. Yeah.
And I know Zine, he talked to me about it, said, you know, that maybe I should talk to you guys. So you wanna hold off, I'll call Greta and tell her to hold off.
You good with that, Mr. President?
Yeah, yeah.
Say, hold
I
off.
think holding
It's
off.
just, because we might just be wasting our money by chipping it and
Right.
then tear a road up, which they fix it anyway, but,
Yeah.
okay, I'll call Greta and just tell her.
I want Jacoby up to 60.
Right,
Well, I got lots of pictures of it, so you will know.
right. Cool. Thank you.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second. I'm in favor.
All in favor?
No further discussion?
All day, yeah.
Aye.